And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, November 12th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. A Friday morning, and we're glad to have you with us. My car thermometer said 44 degrees. There was actually just a little bit of frost on the back windshield, but that probably got there earlier in the morning. A good morning to you. Our program presented by Wilson Bank and Trust, and we have Kurt Baker here this morning, and we have Gabby Manning, who are both with us. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Kurt, we're going to start with you today and tell everybody you are Senior Vice President, Lebanon Market Leader, and been at the bank for a good while and worked your way up and doing great. How many?
17.
17 years.
Can't get rid of me.
You've enjoyed most of them, I know.
Oh, I've enjoyed all of them. It's been great.
Well, get us started here this morning.
We're here this morning to talk about 10 Community, which is basically a culmination of all the banks in Wilson County. There's 9 participating banks that, 2020 was such a rough year. It was the tornado, and then right after the tornado was the pandemic. And then, after the pandemic or during the pandemic, you come with staff shortages and supply chain issues and stuff. A lot of our small businesses are out there hurting. And, the banks, we're all propped up by the small businesses in our community. That's the reason for our success. So we felt like it was a good time to come together and give back to them and support them during tough times.
Well, this occurred last year, and you're telling us you're going to do something again this year, I believe.
Yes, our next initiative that we have is basically Shop Small weekend that's coming up. It's going to be a Shop Small week. It's going to be the week following Thanksgiving, beginning on November 25th through December 5th. What 10 Community has come together to do is all the banks have thrown some money in a pile, and we've created $10 vouchers to be redeemed at the participating 10 community marketplaces and restaurants in Wilson County. There's literally hundreds of them out there. You can go to the website, 10 Community's website, and Gabby will give that in just a minute, but you can pick up any of these $10 vouchers at the participating banks in Wilson County.
And you use that then? That's like a $10 bill to take with you?
Just as good as cash.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And that'll be available at all participating merchants in?
Yes, sir. And Gabby can give those participating banks there that you can pick them up at.
Yeah, tell us.
Yes, so you can pick them up at any of the 9 banks that I'm about to mention. So Wilson Bank and Trust, Volunteer State Bank, Pinnacle, First Bank, Bank of Tennessee, Southern Bank, Liberty State Bank, F&M, and First Freedom. So you can go by any of those banks to pick them up, and you'll get your buck there.
Now, is there a limit to how many of those vouchers, those $10?
There's really not, one specific set limit per person that comes in, but we're trying to spread these out to different people out there in the community. And again, they can be picked up beginning on November 17th. So all the way up from November 17th to November 25th, you can pick those up at the participating banks. And like I said, good as cash at those participating locations, marketplaces, and restaurants.
And that's next Wednesday.
That is next Wednesday, believe it or not.
That's when you start picking them up.
Yes, sir.
Well, this you did something similar to this last year. I think that went pretty well.
It did. Well, I don't have the analytics right here in front of me, but it was a very successful event. I think it, injected a lot of money into our smaller businesses in Wilson County, whether it's Watertown, Lebanon, or Mount Juliet. Those bucks last year were $5 a piece, and we've increased it this year to $10 to try to make that dollar go a little bit further for people.
You got to keep up with inflation.
6%, it's hard to keep up with, isn't it?
What else we got today? Gabby, I think you've got something else to tell us, haven't you?
Sure, yes. We're going to talk about the Santa visits coming up. So we have 2 here in our Wilson County area. So you can go by our Watertown branch on Friday, November 26th from 3 to 5 and take your kids to see Santa. We're also going to have Santa at the main office here in Lebanon on Saturday, November 27th from 9 to 12. So you can come and get a picture made. You'll just take your own picture with your phone and get your kids to see Santa.
And I think this is something you've been doing for a long time, too, and a lot of people do come by.
Yes, it's really special. Santa's been good to us, and, it's really fun looking back at those pictures of all the kids from ages 1 all the way through 15 coming to see Santa. It's the same Santa every year. It's the one that delivers the toys on Christmas Eve.
All right, we got a final minute here, and you might just one more time tell us, summarize what you were telling us here about those $10 vouchers, and it starts next Wednesday when you can can actually pick them up at 9 participating banks?
Yes, sir. Eight participating banks on there.
Okay.
Beginning on November 17th, next Wednesday, you can pick those $10 vouchers up at those participating banks. You can go to the 10 Community website as well to see which banks are out there. It's that is 10 TENN community.com. So go out there on the web and search that. Each one of them have a QR code on that you can scan on your mobile device to see what participating restaurants and marketplaces are out there. And you can redeem them November 25th or December 5th out there at those locations.
All right. You always have to say hello to somebody when you come.
I do. Definitely want to mention my daughter Aniston and my son Colt. Hope they're out there listening and not fighting. They were watching cartoons when I left the house. I'll say a special hello to my mom and dad. I know they always listen anytime I'm on the radio too. And,
great.
And I think Gabby has somebody say hello to as well.
Yeah, Gabby.
Yes, I'll say good morning to my son Waylon and to my parents that are out there listening and my friends as well.
Well, thank you all for being with us today. Kirk Baker and Gabby Manning with Wilson Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coleman.
Okay, we are 10 minutes after the hour. And this morning, we're going to have a special edition of our Friday Senate report. And so it's my pleasure to introduce to you Senator Mark Bodie.
Good morning, Coleman. What a great day.
Good morning, Senator. How are you?
Coleman, I am doing absolutely terrific.
Well, you sound in rare form.
Listen, God is so good, blesses me, and I'm so blessed to have a wife and kids and grandkids. So, yeah, I feel really good.
Well, we've had actually, I think, 2 special sessions of the legislature, and I thought it would be good to have you to come out. All of that is over, right? And we're waiting for the governor to sign a bill, which may be going to take place today.
That's exactly right. Coleman, your timing is absolutely perfect. So, yes, we've had 2 special sessions, and the first one, we did something in Tennessee. We engaged in probably the biggest deal that Tennessee's ever engaged in, and that was to have the Ford Motor Company come down to Tennessee. It'll be over between Jackson and Memphis. And we got what they call a mega site there, and it's just thousands of acres that Tennessee has.
What's the near? What is it in one county? And if so,
it's by Bolivar.
Okay, Bolivar.
All right. And so it's.
Let's see, Bolivar. That county, I believe, borders Mississippi.
I think it's going to be just north. It's right on that exit. In fact, we're making a brand new exit, and if I remember right, it's somewhere like exit 20.
Okay,
so it'd be like not far from the Mississippi River.
Right, and this is really going to be a big thing for Tennessee.
It is huge. It is absolutely huge. If we look at the time that we got Nissan here, changed the direction of Middle Tennessee and Saturn, down in Chattanooga, we got Volkswagen. And now that we got Ford over in West Tennessee, Tennessee will actually be one of the largest automotive states in the nation.
There was a little squawking came out from Ford about something we were doing here. Did that all get passed over? I mean,
yes. So now I will tell you. So first, when Ford was coming, and we had the special session, that was the first special session of the 2 that we've had. And, we're giving Ford close to $1 billion, and we're giving the property and such. And don't get me wrong, they're going to have 5,700 jobs that they're promising, and there'll probably be an additional 20-some thousand jobs around the Ford factory with companies that are going to have to support them. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of companies, even in Middle Tennessee, that'll be making parts for Ford. And it's going to be totally an electric car. So this is going to be the very first time we're having a whole brand new line of the next generation of vehicles. And that's going to be an electric vehicle coming. And they're dedicated to that. So we gave them that property. We gave them, $1 billion, and they're going to be bringing in the jobs. But there was a little bit of squawking even about that, because something that Tennessee did that I was not comfortable with, is we created a board and to kind of oversee that site, but we gave that board unprecedented powers. So they're not an elected board, they're appointed, most of them by the governor, but they are going to have the right to condemn property and take that property. And so I actually ended up voting against it, because I did not feel, as much as we want the jobs, as much as we want the company to come and be innovative with what's happening, to give a board this kind of power and authority, I was really, really uncomfortable with. And you know, I tried to change it, tried to say, hey, let's put more guardrails on this board. Let's try and do that. But to give that board some superpowers and super things that they don't have to ask anybody to do, I felt really bad. Now, they do have to come underneath what we call government operations, and I'm on that committee, and they got to report to us. But I also know that that is not fair when somebody's property, when different things are being on. You need somebody to stand up for that citizen.
Well, it's pretty much a done deal.
Done deal. And so they're here, they're coming. And as they're coming, we're going to be expecting a lot of things to happen. In fact, I was just with the parts supplier over here in Middle Tennessee, and they were saying, all right, Senator Pody, I want to actually go meet them to see if we can't help supply some of the things that they need. So I think it's going to bring jobs over to our area as well. I will tell you some of the employers I talked to, and they say, you know, Mark, we can't find enough employees now. And we're very much, you know, struggling to keep our own factories and such working. And now that we're having an additional almost 6,000 jobs from them, plus an additional 20,000 jobs, where are the employees going to come from? And if we're struggling now just to find people to go to work, that's going to be an interesting dilemma that we have as well.
Do you anticipate maybe an influx of people in that area coming from other parts of the country? Because
we do. We think that there's going to be more people moving to Tennessee, which is good and bad, because if we look what happened in Middle Tennessee, it's very hard to keep up with the infrastructure growth that we have. And that's going to be the same thing that's happening over there when you have that many new jobs, that many new people moving in, the infrastructure, the schools, the housing, the roads and such. So even though we've invested $1 billion already, we know that investment is only the start. We're going to have to be paying a lot more money for more infrastructure going forward.
All right, Senator Mark Pody is here. We'll take a break and more coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and get $50 off $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's building pretty good right now as we check it out live on I-40 coming through Hermitage, coming in from Mount Juliet down the interstates on the increase. 109 has picked up, trying to work your way up towards I-40 there in Wilson County. You give yourself extra time. 24, we saw a lot of radar coming in from Montgomery County out of Clarksville. Still working that wreck at Murfreesboro Pike at Donaldson Pike. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check them out today at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
For 44 years, A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction has been the leader in residential real estate and auctions in Middle Tennessee. Did you know that we also have a team of agents that specialize in commercial real estate? No matter if it is a high-traffic spot or a quiet little corner, we have the local knowledge to deliver just what you are looking for. The A.G. & Johnson commercial team will know exactly what you need and will walk you through the development process. Our commercial agents know more. For commercial real estate done right, give us a call, 615-444-0909, or visit us online, agandjohnson.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan. Join me, Bob Lee, Terry Stafford, and Joe Gardner as we bring you Lebanon High football. Lebanon's run in the TSSAA playoffs continue Friday night, November the 12th, as the Blue Devils take on Riverdale at Tribble Field, Watkins Stadium. Tickets available online at gofan.co. And if you can't be there, tune in on radio, WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
This Sunday, the Titans are back at home at Nissan Stadium. Mike Vrabel's Titans takes on Sean Payton's New Orleans Saints. The award-winning Titans countdown starts at 11. Then catch every play of Titans and Saints with the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Coach Dave McGinnis.
Brought to you by Vixen Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, The Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811, call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. A special Friday Senate report. Senator Mark Pody is here. All right, what we've talked about so far was the first special session of the legislature.
Yes,
right.
yes.
And then, was there a break? Or
We did. We had a couple-day break, but then we went directly back into a second special session. And when you're having a special session, there's only certain things that you can discuss. Like the governor called the first special session for the Ford for the Ford deal. That means we can't bring up other legislation. And
let me interrupt just a second. Was there really any opposition for Ford coming in and what you did? I mean, there was part of that you didn't like, but I mean, was that close to a unanimous vote for that?
It was close. There was only 3 that voted against it, and I was one of the 3. So, I did not want to give our constitutional rights of our citizens away.
Right.
But now, if it would have been, say, Mark, your vote would have stopped it.
Yeah.
I would have had to, reweigh that or
This
whatever.
is more of a little protest.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I got it.
This is me standing up for this average citizen, homeowner, whatever, and saying, we don't want to have unprecedented powers given away.
Okay, so the second session.
So the second session, we go in, and that's going to be that was called by the state legislature, which is very rare.
Yes, very unusual.
And I've actually been pushing for that for quite a while, to say that we need to have some clarity. And I want to bring something out to, I know Jeff was here, Jeff Luttrell, yesterday, and I've talked with him, and he has been doing a really, really good job. So just so people know, I'm really on his side. I think he's been working very hard to hear all sides, but he'll say, Senator Pody, how do I justify, even if I think that we should or we shouldn't have masks or all these things are going on, when we don't have clarity of what we should do by the state? We're out here kind of in the dark doing the absolute best job we can, and sure, we can make our own decisions. Nobody can force us to do some of these things, but when you've got the state of Tennessee Health Department recommending something, we'd be really hard pressed to go against a recommendation from the state. And even though it's not a mandatory thing, there's just not the clarity that we need in state law. And others have told me the same thing as I meet with other superintendents, and they say, please give us some clarity. Businesses are the same thing, saying, please give us some clarity of what we can do with the mandates, with the masks, and so forth. So we actually held a special session to address specifically some of those issues. And some of the issues are, does the federal government have the right to mandate different things coming down? And one of them is, they're saying, listen, if you're an employer and you got over 100 employees, you have to have everybody get this vaccination. But if you have 99, you don't. So there's a lot of questions where, like that number, I mean, how can somebody be safe because they're only 99, but if you're 100 employer more, then all of a sudden you need to do something. So some of the questions that are being put down to us have constitutional questions, and they're going to be solved in court rather than where we are. But we said, in general, the state of Tennessee is not going to have any government entity mandate the vaccination. So if it's a government entity in Tennessee, or if it's going to be a business in Tennessee, they can't mandate the vaccination. We did make some exceptions, and one of the exceptions were if you are a federal contractor, we didn't have the right to, some say, to step on a federal contract, so they had to do it, and that would also include some of the airports and also the health. So if you're a health worker, if you're at a hospital or something like that, they were excluded from this legislation.
Well, it's a hard issue to tackle. There's so many ramifications here to do or not to do, and how far do you go, and where's the authority lie? I mean, there's just all kind of questions about that.
And this is a lot of questions that a lot of conservatives are wrestling with. And just as an example, we don't want to tell a business what to do or not do. I mean, it's up to a business to make a lot of these decisions, and they're just saying, I'm a business owner. I want to make my employees and my customers as safe as I possibly can. Otherwise, I might not be doing what I'm supposed to. And others are saying, this is my personal and individual right. So I don't think that somebody should tell me what I can and can't do just because I work at a specific area. And I'll give you a good example. If I work somewhere and I'm at a business, and the business says, look, if you don't wear this hard hat, you could be hurt, so it's required for you to wear a hard hat. If you need shoes, you got special-toed shoes, or you got safety gloves if you're welding. So I think business has the right to say, you got to wear this safety equipment. They're just trying to keep their employees safe. So even if a business is going to say you got to wear a mask, I can understand that. The bottom line, though, is every piece of equipment that I just said, when they walk out, when that employee walks out of that business office or that employer, they leave it there. The question, though, is if you're mandating a vaccination, you're putting that in your body, And now you can't just leave that vaccination when you leave that place of employment. You took that for the rest of your life. So that point then starts into that's a personal right rather than a business right. So anything that a business says I'm going to require my employees to do while they're on the job, while they're working on our property, this is going to be, I'm going to support the business side. But if it's something that they're saying, look, you're going to carry that with you the rest of your life, I don't think the business has the right to say that.
Was there, what did you actually come up with in the second session?
So we said that like schools can't mandate masks.
All right.
Okay. Schools can't mandate vaccinations. We said that, counties and cities, if you're a government agency, you cannot mandate this in the state of Tennessee.
How did the vote go on that?
Very much overwhelming that people were with us on this. Now, there were actually 80 separate bills filed. 80 bills filed for this second special session. Now, Coleman, I filed 27 of them myself. Okay, so
wow.
just to tell you how passionate I was on that. Now, not one of my bills actually passed, but the bills that I filed, they just kind of rolled into the speaker's bills. And they said, rather than having a whole bunch of different bills, we're only going to have several. And they took some of the ideas that I had. They didn't go as far as I was hoping, but they did take some of them and put them in. And I'll give you a good example. We are operating right now underneath emergency order. The governor declared this almost 18 months ago that we're underneath an emergency. And he keeps renewing that every 60 days. Well, and the governor and I don't agree on this because I don't think we're underneath the emergency that we were when this all started. But that gives him the right to kind of set aside the Constitution, some of the laws that protect us. And I don't like that. Now, I talked to the governor's office and they said, so Senator Pody, what rights are we, stepping on? Why don't we do it? And we get so much extra federal money, so we should stay underneath the federal emergency so we get all this money. And I think, so do we give up our constitutional rights for the money? And that's in essence what we're doing. So, I said, I'm not comfortable. It's not that I don't want the money. But I don't want our rights just kind of set aside. So I said that in my bill, it said, look, if the governor's going to have an emergency and something happens, somebody's got to be able to take charge and do it. I get it. But after 2 weeks, he needs to be able to call in the legislature, and we've got to be able to approve it and say, yes, we're going to continue the emergency rather than just let it keep rolling over every 60 days.
What the final? How many bills actually passed the second session?
Eight.
Were they close to unanimous as well?
Yes, they were, and they did. So we had the committee hearings, and most of the bills that like I said, a lot of them that I had, they were just rolled in. So right now we changed it for the governor. So instead of the 14 days with legislative oversight, we pulled it back down to the governor has to renew it every 45 days, not every 60 days now. So they'll have to rethink about it a little bit more. Didn't go as far as I wanted. However, it was a compromise to at least move forward with something.
Well, was the sentiment about the same in the House and the Senate? Was there much difference of opinion? I mean, was it the vote about the same percentage of the House members voting for these and as were in the Senate? Yes,
it was pretty close. Both chambers, I think, were adamant that they wanted to go forward and put some of these things, some clarity for school boards, and clarity for the citizens of Tennessee. So overall, it went overwhelmingly, it did pass.
Well, there has been some opposition, and there usually is. I don't know how great or how minimal it's been. I haven't kept up with it probably like I should, but do you feel that it was productive time, and that even though it might not have gone exactly like you would have preferred, that it was worthwhile and is good overall?
Yes. So let's say we got 75% of what I was hoping. Okay, and I'm not always right, okay? I've just got my own thoughts and opinions, and we got to weigh that with everybody else. And so when you mix it all together to see what is right for the citizens, it came that way. And like I said, I got about 75% of what I was hoping for, and I'm comfortable with some of those things going forward. A couple of issues that were unique. You mentioned Ford had a kind of a statement. So the very week after we gave him $1 billion, the week after we invited them and came in, they sent a letter to all of the legislators in the Senate saying, in essence, we don't want you to do this. We want to support what the president's doing. So let those mandates go forward. Let us do the vaccinations and such. And we thought, we just gave you $1 billion last week, and the very first time you're coming in and trying to tell us what we should do and not do. And it's like, we see that a lot. So somebody will come into Tennessee because they like our tax structure. They like what we do. They like the freedoms that we have. But as soon as they get here, they want to change us to what they came from. And we felt that Ford was trying to do some of that very same thing. You know, they wanted the freedoms that we had, but as soon as they got here, they said, well, we want to start changing it a little bit. And that was a little bit distasteful.
Well, I can imagine. We are about out of time. You got a busy schedule today?
Yes, I do. But I do want to mention that there's a brand new Veterans Commissioner, and he's coming to Wilson County. So we got him coming to the Veterans Museum the first Friday, which is December 3rd, and he's going to be there at 8 o'clock. And so I'm going to actually have my town hall meeting at the Veterans Museum. And if you want to come meet the new Veterans Commissioner, we'd love to have you come over Friday, the first Friday in December, which is the 3rd at 8 o'clock.
Okay, that's 3 weeks from today.
Exactly.
Yeah, 3 weeks from today. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. You kind of got us caught up now on these two special sessions, and appreciate having you.
Thanks, Coleman.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Please keep it here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday, free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We still see some heavy traffic at times. 40 east coming past 840. All that traffic making its way up through Kingston Springs right now. Coming in from Dixon County. It's busy also on 24 westbound at Harding Place. Behind it, you got all that traffic being pushed in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Traffic's on the increase through Mount Juliet right now. And down Ellington Parkway has picked up as well. Hey, Ripley's Aquarium. Sleep with the Sharks Family Edition. Coming up on December 26th. Log on today, Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
She's taken care of you your whole life. Now it's your turn to take care of her. But with a family of your own and other responsibilities, there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's why it might be time to call the Pavilion Senior Living. From bathing, dressing, housekeeping, and meals, the Pavilion Senior Living is committed to being senior living you can trust for your loved one. Find out more at pavilionseniorliving.com or call 444-5556. That's 444-5556.
Hi, this is Rick Wittrig. Do you have projects that need painting? Well, why paint when the Powder Coat Art Company will beautifully powder coat your project with a tough, durable, baked-on finish? We have options for commercial, residential, automotive, off-road, and motorcycle parts. See us on Facebook or Instagram, or for a quote, go online at powdercoatart.com or come see us at 1746 Sparta Pike in Lebanon.
Hey, TP.
Yeah, JB?
You ready?
For Friday Night Lights, you better believe it. Join us on the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night after the Lebanon High football game. We'll have all the scores for you and even post-game interviews with all of your Wilson County coaches.
Thank you to our sponsors, Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Palometto's Insurance, Sammy B's Restaurant, and Kenny Salas and the hometown team with Keller Williams Realty.
It's the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show with John Boyce and Trenton Perry, right here on WANT 98.9 FM.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Bill Bailey presents Middle Tennessee Sings the Gospel, featuring Gold City.
I will not be shaken. I will not be moved.
The Kingsmen.
I will arise and go back to my father's house.
The Inspirations.
Your labors are over. Your labors are over forevermore.
And Jeff and Sherry Easter.
Ain't it good God loves people like me?
Middle Tennessee Sings the Gospel, Friday, November 19th at 7 p.m. at Hillcrest Baptist Church in Lebanon, Tennessee. A $15 per person donation will be requested at the door, plus a love offering will be received. For information, call 877-412-SING. That's 877-412-SING. Or visit BillBaileyConcerts.com. BillBaileyConcerts.com. Middle Tennessee Sings the Gospel with Gold City, the Kingsmen, the Inspirations, and Jeff and Sherry Easter. Friday, November 19th at 7 7 p.m. at the Hillcrest Baptist Church in Lebanon, Tennessee.
It's finally Friday, and today's skies will be bright and sunny with temperatures climbing into the low 60s. On Saturday, highs will only top out in the upper 40s with sunny skies, so make sure to grab a jacket on Saturday. Skies stay sunny on Sunday as well. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Good. And we welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company. It's a Friday morning, and I've just been handed my second cup of coffee. Thank you very much. We're on the air, of course, for C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty, and we've got Miss Judy and we got Medina here today. So, what else do you want? Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Perfect Friday because we're here.
We have made your day.
Yes, ended your week well.
Well, we are always glad to have you each Friday. And Mike doesn't come much anymore, but how's he doing?
He's doing good. He was actually washing my car when I left.
Well, how about
Isn't that sweet?
C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty, located at 1330 West Main Street. They're great people. They offer great service. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. People you can trust. And Miss Judy usually gets us started. You got something for us?
Well, I was listening to Kurt Baker this morning on the radio when he was talking about, the shop local. And I think it's a wonderful thing. This time of the year we're thinking about Thanksgiving a lot. And we should think about it all year. But it does make us stop and think a little bit more in November. But, with those banks all going together, what a wonderful idea. And this shows what kind of community we have. They all go together, even though they're competitors. They go together, and then they're donating that money so that the people can go and put it back into our shops local here. Mm-hmm. And, you think about it, it's like we've talked about before. When you go to the Little League Park and you see all the signs at the ball field, or you go to these other fundraisers, who are the people that are contributing to these fundraisers? It's not usually your corporate places very often. It's your local people that's got their sign on the shop on West Main or down 231 or wherever in Wilson County, Watertown, Mount Juliet. They're the ones that you just call up and say, hey, we need this, we need that, would you participate? And they always go, okay, come by and pick it up or do this. And they don't very seldom say no. And that's the thing is, look at our community, how everybody pulls together. The banks are putting money back into the consumers' pockets that they're going to take and spend locally here in Wilson County. And what a great idea and what a great thing for them to work together doing that. And, as I was thinking on the way here, just being thankful for this community, that we can live in a community that everybody's still willing to help each other out. Because some places you go, and a lot of the people we sell houses to come and say, oh, where we go, they don't do things like that. It's like everybody's for himself and, nobody helps anybody and you don't even know anybody. And here you come, and at first they come and they don't know very many people. And then all of a sudden they start to become part of our family again. And that's what we want the newcomers. We tell them, we got our own ways here. So now if you didn't like where you're at, don't bring them down here. You got to adjust to our ways. And sometimes they laugh, sometimes they don't. But it's the kind of thing we want to keep Wilson County, the atmosphere that we've always had, a loving, caring community, and mix the new ideas and the new people that's moving in and learn from each other and let them just become a part of us. And they're not like, oh, well, you're from here and I'm not. It needs to blend where we're all together as one family.
Yeah, we've got a good thing going. We want to keep it.
That's right. That's right. But sometimes we have a tendency to go, oh, well, you're not from here. You weren't raised here. And we shut those people out. So we need to pull them in and let them become a part until they're helping the ball teams and all the events that go on in town. They're participating and they become friends with all of us and have relationships. And then all of a sudden they're part of us. It's not that you were not raised here. They fit into this community, and Miss Patel that's sitting over there, she's already fitting into this community. I was thinking about her and how she's contributing a lot from her business to this community, and she's a newcomer, and everybody's putting their arms around her, and here we go. So
Right.
that's what our town's about. So I'm going to hush on Thanksgiving, but I'm thankful to be here, and I'm going to let Medina talk about real estate.
All right, Medina, talk about real estate.
Well, I'm thankful for a listing. So I'm going to talk about a listing. We have a listing on Lovers Lane at 441 Lovers Lane. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's 2 acres. Some of it is wooded. Other part of it, of course, is mowed and everything where the house is sitting. And the house is a manufactured home on a permanent foundation. It's a little bit over 1,400 square feet. It's 3 beds, 2 full baths. It has a 30 by 13 covered deck on the back of it, which is the length of the house. And then it has a barn in the back. It's fenced in the back. And it sits off the road, but you have lots of mature trees in front of the house and to the road, and then the back of it is wooded. So there's not going to be anything coming up behind you.
Mhm.
So you have a very private backyard. So that's listed at $299,900. So if you're interested in a home with 2 acres and it's right there close to town, it's right off Rome Pike, and it's minutes to everything, to give us a call. We'd be glad to show it to you. We also have the lots on Hiwassee Road. We have a lot 2 and a lot 3. Both of them are great building lots, and they're each listed at $279,900.
Is that in the edge of Smith County?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
right.
Yes, it is.
Off Highway 70.
That's right,
Over
off of-
towards, you go in the direction of Hartsville. I've been on that road a few
Oh,
times.
yeah. Hawassee's a beautiful road anyway, but these lots are also beautiful for a beautiful building lot. But Lover's Lane is there, and we're wanting to get a buyer for it.
All right. 443-3130. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's right.
You can get in touch with you.
You can get in touch with us. My phone never goes off. Now, if you call at 1 a.m., it may be a little bit before I call you back, but I will call you back.
Well, I bet you don't get many calls at 1 or 2 a.m.
Just a stupid telemarketer, that's all.
All right. Well, I think y'all told the story well this morning. I love it when Miss Judy gets on the soapbox.
Oh, I know. I know.
I think
I
a lot
forget
of
all
people
about
do.
real estate when I think of stuff.
When she gets on a soapbox, you just move away. And you just listen.
Well, you can wrap it up for us in 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 words.
Don't make a move without us.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday.
Thank you,
Coleman.
All right. Judy Cox, Medina Himmeltoller, C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. Again, 1330 West Main in Lebanon. People you can trust, and don't make a move without them. We are 19 before the hour, and Dr. Hetal Patel is with us this morning. Was here a while back and a second visit. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you today. Good to have you, and you've got some news for us today, I think, and something to talk about of interest to the people in our listening audience.
Absolutely. But before I start, I really want to thank the community and Judy and Madonna and you guys for welcoming me. And, what Judy was saying was absolutely true. I mean, the love and support that we've gotten from this community is amazing. And we've only been here for 5 months. So it's Lebanon Family Pharmacy. We're located on 1311 West Main Street, Suite A, Lebanon, Tennessee, 37087. And
well, I know some of this you've told us before when you were here. This was back, I guess, toward the end of September, month and a half ago, something like that. You were here, and again, tell us just a little bit about you, why you came to Lebanon, and what you've got going here in our community.
Absolutely. So I live in Mount Juliet, but I grew up in part in India, part in Africa, in a country called Malawi, and then part, in Pigeon Forge. So I went to high school in Pigeon Forge, and then, did some schooling at UTK. I did my bachelor's degree there in biochemistry and cellular molecular biology, and then went ahead and did my, pharmacy school in Chicago. And then we just, my husband had a job here in Tennessee, so we moved in Nashville. And lived in Mount Juliet for a while and worked for, chain pharmacies for a while. And then we, decided that we wanted to do something on our own. But we just didn't want to be another pharmacy that was just filling prescriptions and, just doing what everybody else was doing. We wanted to be doing something where how can we also contribute to the community as well. So we talked to a few people and saw, what was the need? What can we do to help the community besides just, filling prescriptions, which prescriptions are important. I mean, they do, offer a lot of, revenue, which we can use towards all the free programs we have. And, the community just, told us that, hey, this is what we need. We need something for kids and, for something that different programs that kids can enjoy and also be healthy while doing that. So, that's something that we worked on. We've got a lot of free programs for kids like multivitamins. Every kid can come to our pharmacy and just sign up. No strings attached. We don't charge anything and we don't, ask for anything else. And they can come and get a free bottle of multivitamin every month.
Wow. Now, you said you're located at 1311 West Main.
Yes.
And how long you had your doors open there?
So we've only been open for 5 months. And right now, what I wanted to let the community know, which a lot of people don't know, is we do all kinds of vaccinations. We do also COVID vaccines for children. And we make it fun for them. So when they go to, a lot of other places, they're like, well, we'd rather go to our pediatrician because they're more comfortable with their pediatrician. But we have little fun things going. We do free snacks and drinks for kids. And we have a little device. It's called a shot blocker. And we have another device called a Buzzy Bee, which kind of helps, kids calm down a little bit before we give them a shot. And it's been great. I mean, the parents have given us such great response. And they don't know that you can come to us because we've only been here for 5 months. A lot of people can't find us where we're located, or they'll call and they're like, well, we didn't know that you were a full functioning pharmacy. Some people think that when put pharmacy or apothecary, now they're like, it's CBD or, stuff like that. But no, we're a full functioning pharmacy.
We need to go to a break in just a second here, but what is close by 1311 West Main?
So we're in the Bargain Hunt complex. So where the Papa John's and everything is, but not towards that end, the opposite end of it.
Okay. All right. Well, that gives everybody a little bit idea of your more exact location there. But if you go on West Main and look diligently, you can find 1311 West Main.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's your location. We're going to talk a lot more after we take this break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford. And they've got the lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's a bit of a challenge now trying to get out of Rutherford County due to an accident on 24 westbound. It's Sam Ridley. It just happened. Traffic's crazy slow now trying to get out of Rutherford County. Again, that's 24 westbound. It's Sam Ridley Parkway. OHB at Gallatin Pike still trying to clear up that wreck. Charlotte Pike at White Bridge. That wreck happened right in the intersection. Franklin Limestone Road at Antioch Pike was still backed up from that earlier collision as well. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check it out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
When you're Middle Tennessee's community bank, you have a greater responsibility than offering just a menu of financial services. At Wilson Bank and Trust, we make it our mission to know our neighbors, meet their needs, and invest in the communities we serve. Whether we are working with our students to build their youth savings or partnering with a local business owner to fulfill their dreams, our goal is always to make our communities even stronger. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of the fabric of Wilson County for more than 30 years and always supporting us in our efforts to serve you, give back, and grow. Member FDIC.
This year when I count my blessings, I'm thanking the Lord He made you.
We want to thank our past customers, our new customers, and our future customers for trusting us with their real estate needs this year.
Real estate is a large financial decision, and we are here to assist you with all the steps. Don't make a move without us. Happy Thanksgiving.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team, 443-3130.
Lord He made you.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village is back for their 12th annual celebration of the magical Christmas season. With over 2 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all perfectly synchronized to some rockin' Christmas tunes, you'll experience the dazzling sights and sounds of the Dancing Lights of Christmas from inside the comfort of your own vehicle. And for the first time ever, helicopter rides are available, where you can see the lights dance from the sky. The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village at the Wilson County Fairgrounds, 5 p.m. nightly, including all holidays. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com.
Let me go ahead and wish you a happy weekend. Hope it's going to be a good one. If you're a Titans fan, they're at home and playing the Saints, and we have their games, of course, here. And this morning, though, we have Dr. Hedel Patel, pharmacy located at 1311 West Main, and we're going to talk a little bit more here about the vaccinations. You're vaccinating children,
Yes.
and now there might be some people who are wondering if that's necessary. And what I would like to do is just give you the mic here. Tell us about this. And I'm sure you're not trying to force this on anybody, but if they're going to have it, it is available. And you've already told us you are children friendly
Yes,
at your place at 1311 West Main.
Yeah. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. We don't force this on anybody, but we just want to let people know that there's another option available if they choose to. And if some people come in and they don't know what they want. They don't know if they want it or if they don't want it. And they're like, can you tell me more about the vaccine, the technology behind it, or how many children were involved in the study? What did you see, side effect wise? And we sit down and talk to them. The good thing about a small independent pharmacy is we have a lot of time. So we just sit down and talk to you and, try to answer all the questions that you have.
Have you had opportunities to do this with a number of people already?
Yes. We have many people that come in, and even with adults, not just children, adults are still on the fence about if I want to get one or if I don't want to get one. And with these, company mandates that, everybody has to be vaccinated by January 4th, we have a lot of people come in and say that, well, I have a deadline, and if I don't do this, I'm going to lose my job. But I'm also scared. What do you think about this? And they'll just come and sit down and talk to me. We spend about good, 20 to 30 minutes talking about stuff. And at the end of the day, when they say, that I made them feel comfortable, I answered their questions, and, made sure that, all his fears were taken care of, or her fears were taken care of. It makes me feel good that I did my job right, that, whoever was, came with the questions, they got answers.
Is there a difference, a different reason, or different scenario with children versus adults as far as this vaccination is concerned?
I honestly, you'd probably think that you'd be more scared with kids being vaccinated. I'm actually more confident with vaccinating kids than, adults, because when we looked at those trials, we saw that, the side effects that the kids had were very, very minimal. Yes, people are still scared about the side effects that, 10 years down the road, but we don't know, what's going to happen 10 years down the road, especially when it comes to, vaccines or any new medication that comes out. That's just always going to be a risk versus a benefit question.
Do you feel that there's a certain advantage if the children are vaccinated? Not only just for them, but for the overall situation we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing with COVID and kids is that a lot of carriers, the kids that carry the viruses, they're asymptomatic. So they could be walking around in your little Thanksgiving get together, and they could be infecting everybody. And they, if they're not vaccinated, it kind of helps them, to minimize getting the infections and also not spread it to other people. Kids always are, with their grandparents most of the time, or in, daycare. And a lot of grandparents that we have gotten here at our pharmacy said that, I'm glad that you guys are doing the kids' vaccines, because we're their caretaker. We're their main caretaker, and kind of helps us stay protected and the kids stay protected. So, during the holidays or before the holidays, a lot of people like to, take these precautions so they can see their family.
From a professional standpoint here, I mean, you've had to deal with this. As you, what I'm wondering, looking at it professional here, are we over the hump? Are we can we see light at the end of the tunnel? Is this thing about to end? Your professional opinion, or is it going to carry on for another year or 6 months, or what do you think?
Well, I really think this is going to be something that's not going to end soon. I feel like it's going to continue just because there's so many, factors that play in. First of all, like the virus, the rate at it's mutating, that's something that we should be concerned about because we try to, come up with these vaccines and stuff. We're testing all these different variants for the vaccine. But if it mutated and became like even more resistant, then we wouldn't know. So it really is, something that there's ongoing research every day. We find out something new about the virus.
It seems to me that we've had a little bit of a change. They call this maybe a different strain or something, some kind of change, maybe middle of the summer, August or so on, where that more people might be getting it, but it seemed less severe, but more contagious.
Yes.
It seemed like it is, it terribly contagious, especially in the month of September. I've heard of so many people getting this and having it. A lot of them weren't all that sick, but it seemed like anybody and everybody could get it if you didn't hold your head right or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not, it's not a big deal that if you got the virus. It's the thing that we want to focus on is not just transmission, but also, the symptoms, like how bad were the symptoms. And the vaccine kind of helps you lower, your chances to go to the hospital from having really severe symptoms. And that's another thing that we also have to look at, that you might be contagious, but are you producing symptoms, or whoever, was infected, are they having symptoms that are bad enough for them to end up in the hospital? And that's another, concern. And the main focus, I would say, is to decrease hospitalizations. It's not about decreasing COVID infection, but it's decreasing those hospitalizations and deaths.
Well, you came here primarily to talk about the availability and the fact that the children and what age? What's are you doing? Is it 6 months, a year? Where do you start as far as how old the child is?
The COVID vaccines, the Pfizer vaccine is only approved for children 5 to 11 years of age. That's the pediatric dosing. And then there's adult dosing that we can use for patients that are 12 years and older.
Okay, so if they're under 5, then there's no vaccination.
There's no.
Well, I'm glad we
COVID
established
vaccination.
that because I wasn't sure. But age 5 to 11, and that's the and that only started a few weeks ago, right? It wasn't available for those under 12 until just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it just started last week, and we've had, like I said, parents have an amazing experience with us, and they're like, well, how come nobody knows about this place? Can you make sure that everybody knows? And they've been posting on Facebook and Instagram for us and telling everybody else that, hey, if your kids are afraid of the needle, take them there because they're one of the best. So, yeah.
Well, you've gone out of your way really to make it a good experience, and I guess as painless and all as possible. And part of that probably is getting their attention away from that needle.
Yeah. And we have a little library set up in a corner of our pharmacy where we have books, for them to read, a little chair for them to, just hang out, and a few toys. And so we try to make it, children friendly. Like they feel welcomed at our pharmacy and not just like, oh, I'm going to the doctor's office and they're going to poke me with the needle.
Do you know of anybody else that's gone to this extent to be child friendly?
I don't know. I believe the only people that I would see is, people that would deal with kids, like pediatricians. And I don't know any other pharmacy that has done this before. Yeah.
Well, by the way, what are your hours? And are you open 5-6 days a week? What?
So we're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then Saturday we're open 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So you're actually, you have 6 days that you're open, and not as long on Saturday, but you're open.
Yes.
And again, you do welcome, you've got the time to talk with people, and you're glad to do that, to explain, answer their questions, explain what this is all about.
Absolutely. And I think with all the kids' vaccinations coming in and parents coming in, we also tell them about our free multivitamin program, which they love it. And then we also tell them about the COVID testing. So a lot of people, are planning to go on cruises for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and they're planning to travel for the holidays. And they're like, where can I get a test? Well, we do rapid antigen testing at our pharmacy for free. And we also have those to-go kits, the at-home kits that you can take for travel. So if you're going on a cruise for a week, you can grab a couple of those kits and put them in your bag and take them on the cruise. So if anything happens, then you always have something available to check.
Well, it seems you're really going out of your way to make things available, to make it just as easy as possible, and maybe to provide some things that people hadn't even thought about. I hadn't even thought about taking one of those if you're going on a trip, but it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's our goal. We wanted to provide the community, a sense of comfort that, hey, if something happens, I can always go to this person or this pharmacist or this pharmacy and I'd get my answers. And we go out of our way to order things for people. Like, some people will come in, well, I'm in need of an urgent nebulizing tube, and somebody told me it's going to be $70. Well, in fact, it was only like $5 for us to order for them. And so we will go out of our way to order it. We order it the night before. It's here the next day, 8:30 a.m. And so they, told us that they were very, very thankful because she had an asthma attack after, when she got pneumonia. And then after that, it went down the hill for her, that patient. So she was very, very lucky that we could, do that for her.
Well, we've come to the end of our time here. Nice to see you again. Glad things are going well. Dr. Hedel Patel, and the location is 1311 West Main, and you're open Monday through Friday from 8 to
6:30.
8 to 6:30, and then Saturday 8 to
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Coleman.
Oh, that is going to do it for this week. Have a nice weekend, and until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.